Hello everyone, my name is Sharon and welcome to Learning the Lyre Harp. Today I want to go over improvisation, and this is a skill that I feel we all should have because it's a wonderful, wonderful skill, and something that will really help us express ourselves in music and be able to create our own tune. So what is improvisation? I've done a few videos and share them online. Usually when I'm improvising, I usually just play for myself, and I've never really been in the habit of recording them, but I've had some requests to do that, so I did that, and now I have quite a few requests on how do you do improvisation. So I thought I'd share what I know with you in this few videos that I'm going to be doing. It's going to be a series of videos. So this particular one is just an introduction, and as well as to show you a few things that we need to get started. So improvisation, what does it really mean? To improvise. In the dictionary, it tells me that improvisation is the act of improvising, which really doesn't tell me much, but really to me, improvising is just really being in the moment, to be playing music, a piece of music that we didn't plan, or we didn't construct to do, or we've never practiced. So that to me is what an improvisation is, and there's different ways we can improvise, and we'll talk about that later. But you know, improvisation and really music is so much more than just the notes and the rhythm on a page. And in most cases, when we're improvising, we don't have the luxury of having a piece of music right in front of us. And in improvisation and music, we are wanting to create an image. So it allows us to tell a story, share our feelings and thoughts, and and those things evokes emotions that affects not just us, but also people that are listening to us. And to be able to express ourselves and even share this with others is a wonderful gift. So I really encourage us to learn improvisation and to learn music in general, because it's such a beautiful gift, first of all to us and then to others. And one of the best things about improvising that I know is that it allows us to play without pressure. Improvisation doesn't need to be hard. We don't need complex or advanced skills, or have all of the theory knowledge down our belt. We can improvise at any level. In my experience, it only really requires us to be present, to be in the moment, and to set a clear intention of what we want to do. Now, please don't get me wrong. Some basic knowledge and skills are needed, and having a structure and some post guides that will help us construct music in improvisation. It will help us to do those more successfully if we have those things, and it would be easier for us to capture the music that we're creating and to be able to play it again later on, or even share it with others. Now, to begin, let me point out some basic things that will help us. One of the basic things that we need to know, first of all, is what type of lyre we have, what key scale our lyres are set up in, how many strings we have, and what notes are available to us, because that will allow us to determine what type of songs and what range we can play in. So some lyres, you can have 10 strings, some are pentatonic and have 7 strings, some have 16 strings, 19, 21, 24, and they're even making some lyres now that have more strings than that. And it doesn't really matter how many strings you have, because you can play beautiful songs, beautiful melodies, even if you only have 7 strings or just 5 strings in pentatonic. So don't feel like you are limited by the number of strings you have. It's not the number of strings, it is how well you play them and how many patterns you are using, and really the intention that you set out, as I mentioned earlier, in your music. Then the next really basic thing that we need to know is the notes in our scale. We're lucky in a diatonic lyres because you usually are set up already in one particular scale. So you really just need to know what the notes are in that scale, whether you're playing in a diatonic, which has the 7 notes and may repeat again depending on the size of your lyre, and or if you have a pentatonic lyre, then you have the 5 notes of do, re, mi, sol, la, and maybe a few other ones depending again on the size of your lyre. So it's really important for us to know which ones are our low notes, which ones are our high notes, because the pitches that we are going to be using in the music really helps us to evoke those feelings that we want to do. So for example, if we want to play a more positive notes, and we might want to use or stick to the major notes in the scale. So that would be your 1, 4, 5, and to add variety, if you want to, you can add some minor notes in there, and also even to add tension, you can add your B or your F in it, because that really creates a tension that needs to resolve to another note. If you want to play sad songs or more melancholy songs, then you might want to start playing and using more of the minor notes, which is your D, E, and A. So those particular notes evokes a little bit more of a melancholy, more down, more sadder feelings than the major notes. What will help us is knowing our basic chords. So having an understanding of our basic chords, even if we're just limited to right now just playing the root chord and that's all that we know for now, that is perfectly fine, because those chords will help us really play songs, and really just by using those chord tones you can play a lot of songs. You can have different patterns and mix and match them, and it will create beautiful music for you. And if you already are a little bit more advanced, then you might want to play along and use inversions of those chords, because those inversions again will allow you to have more patterns in your music, and it will give you again a different, more of a maybe a stronger feeling. Like a root position chord has a more definite, more stronger feeling than say a first inversion or a second inversion, because even though they are still the same notes in the chord, the intensity of that chord lessens with each inversion. What we need to do improvisation is really very basic, and for a lot of you already have all of this information, all of these skills down your belt, because you may have already been playing instruments. You may have been already playing piano or guitar, ukulele, whatever it is. You may know how to read music already, and that's fantastic. You may know what the notes are already, and you may even know the chords already, so that's really fantastic. And if you don't, there are some videos in some of the playlists that goes into details on how to read music, how to know the notes in the scale, and how to form chords and their inversions. So you are more than welcome to watch through those videos and see if they will help you. And of course, message me and leave me comments down below if you have more questions or if you are looking for more information. That's it for now. I hope that this introduction video is going to inspire you to learn more about improvisation. I hope that it piques your curiosity, and that you will join me in the next series of videos coming up, where we actually learn to play improvisation and put our hands on our lyre and start playing. That's it for now, and again, as always, I hope you have a great day and happy playing.